So, mobile gaming in 2026 has been moving quite fast, and the month of May is keeping up just as strong. There's a lot of new games coming out and some genuinely worth the grind. Hello friends, this is Mobile, and today we're checking out over 20 new mobile games in May 2026 for Android and iOS. And at number 1. Look guys, not gonna lie, I think Tutopia will soon take over people's lives. I mean, that in a good way probably. Here are the reasons. It's a social casual game, got a pretty decent mix of just cozy life sim energy and a party game where like 1 minute you're just relaxing, decorating, customizing an avatar for like an hour. Then before you even realize it, like you're sweating in different mini games trying to beat everybody else and you can do it. The biggest thing in this game is just the variety. Social features, puzzles, boss fights, building your own space. It constantly throws different things and never really feels repetitive either. And the cherry on top is actually, visually it is super polished, as it is. It's out now through a beta on Android and it's coming out worldwide probably by the end of the month. Coming up behind that at number 2, we've got Racing Master. And yeah, this thing absolutely did not spend years in development for nothing. Not one of those small races where you just drift in on a wall at 300 kilometers an hour and somehow still win kind of racing game, but a realistic sim. You see, the handling matters, cars feel heavy, corners punish bad timing, and once you start understanding the grip, the whole game suddenly feels super satisfying. For people who do love proper driving sim games, this is as far as it gets on Android and iOS. And visually, Unreal Engine is just ridiculous how well it's working. Racing Master is easily sitting near the top of mobile racing games right now. With over 100,000 downloads in just a day, number 3 we've got Ghost Sniper. Straight up classic war, sniping first-person shooting energy done properly. You see, you're sent into these global war zones and told to be invisible, patient, and as best as you could, delete the enemies. It's not the type of game that rushes you because it's all about lining up, reading distances, wind, bullet drop, the whole sniper fantasy loop. What actually makes it hit is just the feel. It's not tap and shoot, you gotta adjust the scope, hold your breath. The environment's also got a lot of work here. Simple concept, but executed in a way that really respects sniping instead of being just a arcade shooter. It's a free game, it's playable offline as well.
Engage high-speed ground targets with surgical precision.
On second hands, we've got a solid war shooting game with actual depth, and it's called Middle Hunter. We're not controlling snipers, but these mounted weapons instead, locking on targets coming from air, sea, land, and all at once at times. Very reaction-based type of game, more about timing than movement. Enemies come in waves, and the game constantly pushes that, don't blink pressure where like one missed shot can simply snowball. Presentation is actually clean. Classic visuals, heavy audio feedback, lots of explosion punch with a pretty simple loop too, but really satisfying if you do like aim-focused shooters. At number 5, we've got Atishbazi Fireworks, and I think it's one of those odd sim games you randomly open for like 5 minutes and somehow stay for like half of an entire day. See, there's no real objective here. You're basically just walking around this quiet village at night, setting off these fireworks wherever you want and watch the whole thing unfold. Nice thing about it is just how simple it is. You place fireworks, ignite them, mess around, repeat, and surprisingly, the effects actually look pretty good. Definitely one of the more chill sandbox experiences than a game, but it's also pretty well made. Number 6 is Grau a Fuga. We've had Grau games before, but this one's low-key Grand Theft Auto's indie cousin that grew up on Brazilian street culture. It's an open world-ish driving game where you're basically riding bikes, pulling stunts, just vibing with or without your friends. Even though it's listed as an offline game, it honestly plays like it wants to be online heavy. Lots of that social stunt race vibe built into it. And for a game just over 300 megabytes in total, the polish is actually pretty solid. Visuals are clean, physics are fun enough, and it doesn't feel cheap either. It's also pushing past 200,000 downloads in just days. Go figure.
Flower Forest.
On another hand, Flower Forest feels legitimately different. It's almost between a cube game and a visual novel and an anime in a way. No flash, it's just you clicking around this weird dreamlike world trying to figure out how everything connects together and advance. The cool thing about it is just how clean it is. Puzzles are built around observation and logic, so it's rather more about noticing tiny little details and playing with objects until they finally click. And the monochrome art really helps the atmosphere like a lot. Definitely more of a play with headphones at night type of game rather than a puzzled, I don't know, sort of time killer. It's very much the opposite. Very good game, is playable offline as well. And number 8 got Dragonfire. Basically 4X strategy, the Game of Thrones version. Like you're building kingdoms, managing resources, joining alliances, and starting wars across Westeros, except now, well, dragons can suddenly come around and raise entire armies. We think the cool part about this specific game is that it actually leans pretty hard into the House of the Dragon vibe, although that's not a very beloved series compared to Game of Thrones, but it really doesn't feel like a cheap skin either. And the dragons look great. Just know what you're getting into, though. This is a full-on strategy MMO. Timers, alliance politics, map controls, people walking up at 4 AM for wars, that kind of thing, the usual shit. But it's also made pretty well, and there's a lot of polishing being done as we're talking.
Toma, your companion on a long drive north to the shelter.
RV Sim Long Drive Road feels like somebody looked at the Long Drive, the original game, and they said like, yeah, let's make that into mobile survival horror as well. So yeah, it's a driving sim game, it's an RV sim in a way. You're basically driving this busted RV across a dead world while scavenging for fuel, supplies, and anything that keeps both you and the vehicle alive. Honestly, the RV itself kind of becomes a main character after a while. And the real win's the atmosphere. It's got empty roads, towns, tension everywhere. It has a lonely apocalyptic vibe that just works always surprisingly well. Definitely janky in some places, but if you enjoy survival games with the journey itself as a whole point, this one's actually pretty interesting. Going down to number 10, it is Morgue Manager Simulator, and mobile games are now officially at the point where you can run a full burial business on your phone. So yeah, you're preparing bodies, digging graves, ordering coffins, and basically handling everything nobody else wants to deal with. Weird concept, of course, absolutely, but that's kind of why it stands out. It's got that strangely satisfying sim loop where you start with basic tools and slowly build your own little business empire, one grave at a time, and the atmosphere honestly helps it too. Highly recommended. It's a free game, it's playable offline, and just over 200 megabytes in total. And it's not just that one. At number 11 we have Photo Anomaly, Darkroom, which is one of those hallucination sim type of games, but one with actual legitimacy. See, you're walking around this house trying to notice tiny anomalies before things get worse and take people's pictures. And well, the tension comes from, paranoia more rather than the scares. Nothing complicated, just observation, silence, and your brain slowly convincing you something just move right around that corner. Definitely feels like a game made for people who enjoy horror games that mess with your attention and enjoy that slow little dread. It's a free game. This is available now in both Chinese and English after a couple of years of polishing. Number 12, in case you missed it, we have Alien Lands. It's an action strategy that looks like someone mixed a sci-fi shooter, a looter shooter, with a survival loop. So you're in this future galaxy with your enemies loot grinding and non-stop upgrading, and you trying to build yourself into some space monster with these ridiculous weapons, well, just to stop them. Well, definitely the kind of game that could get addictive if the gameplay loop is what you would enjoy. It's available now on PC and mobile. It's an online game. 1.5 gigabytes in total. Although it's an X7 game, you probably want to go ahead and use a link down in the description for it. Now, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs at number 13 is, well, it's one of the oldest classic arcade reboots. I know the graphics don't justify it, but it finally came out back swinging in full 3D side-scrolling form, and it took years for it to happen. It still has that old school move forward, beat everything, don't think too much energy, but now it's layered with modern systems as well. You've got different characters, classes, pets, gear setups, so it's not just about button mashing anymore, there's actual build variety. This one feels like something that could have easily stayed simple, but then instead developers really tried, put an effort, and instead made it way more ambitious now. It's a demo though, and it's about 4 gigabytes in total.
Reach you, but I had to try.
Sitting at number 14, it is Broken Spectre, and it's a little different, uncomfortable different. See, this game's not about the action, it's about being pulled into something you don't understand. You could say it's a rather, well, walking sim, a basic one, until the world slowly starts bending rules and turn into this cosmic body horror mess that just hits different. The big thing about the game is the hand interaction. It's not a gimmick, it is the experience. Everything you do feels direct, personal, like you're actually inside of a movie. Pretty short game, but it hits. Not loud, just a sub enough to make you remember it. There's just one problem, it's not a free game, it's $10.99. Now, on another hand, at number 15, we have Mix Monsters. Pretty cute game, plays simple, and suddenly, pretty casually, comes and hits you with one of the most unique RPG twists, where you're basically overpowered from the start in this game, and the mission is protecting the main character, Meg, because the second she panics and starts crying, it is just game over, literally. Pretty short game, story heavy, way more emotional than it had any intention to be in the first place. Starts pretty wholesome, ends up hitting hard. It's not about the grind, this one's just about the journey. And it's also got a free playable demo. Now, with that being said, After Dark Survival Tomb is a idle RPG with this Egyptian flavor. So it's a usual grind, but like you're mining through tomb tunnels with a pickaxe, fighting mummies, whatever else is just waiting there. It's got that loop of mine, fight, upgrade, go deeper, mixed with idle progression, so you're always getting stronger, even between your runs and especially when you're offline. Pretty solid game if you like survival-liked RPG loops with that constant just one more feeling to it. Car Crash Dummy Pro is at number 17, a pretty premium sandbox, although it's a pretty cheap game. You pick from a nice big lineup of these vehicles and just drive into anything that moves and breaks. Cars, buses, tanks, dummies flying out of windshield. It's all about that cash, physics, and destruction. There's no real objective here, just different maps like city, highway, buildings, more cars, etc. Not gonna lie, it's a weirdly satisfying game if you just want stress relief through destruction with like maximum chaos. That's just a quick mention in case you missed it this past couple of weeks. Bandai Namco is about to release Digimon Up on Android and iOS. Well, it's the old team trying to turn monster raising into something that sort of fits your daily life loop. Very light touch Digimon, not heavy MMO stuff, more like a companion game that grows with you like over time. It's got the familiar monsters, simple progression, and that classic collect and evolve loop as well. Check it out just in case you missed it. At number 19, we've got Smash Gun. Basically chaos in a 4x4 playing ground. So it's a pretty casual game at core where you're just rolling a ball, trying to survive these 90-second turns while the whole platform grid constantly builds upward and forces you to keep moving. So yeah, you can smash platforms, watch them blow into pieces, and pray you just don't fall when they grow. Pretty fast game, twitchy with simple rules, constant pressure, and just a surprisingly satisfying destruction, for a game under 70 megabytes and something for free. At number 20 we have Pump Snake. You guessed it, it's a classic Snake game, but it's also cranked into multiplayer with a crypto Web 3 flavor slapped on top. You start small in the game, eat to grow, try not to get boxed in while others, obviously hunt you. It is competitive, got that one mistake instant death energy, and under, well, basically all the blockchain talk, it's still just a survival Snake arena game. Simple loop, high tension, plus a trash talk potential, is an online game. And finally, just a little bit of a bonus game, we've got Slide Perfect Fit. I would say one of those looks easy until you blink wrong type of games. You've got this bar constantly sliding left and right, and your only job in this game is to drop it perfectly into these tiny gaps at the right moment, as you can see. That's it. But it gets nasty pretty fast. Speed ramps up, gaps shrink, suddenly you're missing by like 1 pixel, and, you know, obviously rage quit. There's no fluff, no story, no online play if you didn't want it. It's just pure timing pressure. It's offline. It's even less than 100 megabytes. Thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. I'll see you again tomorrow.